The army for our Protest player is going to be defending this third base for a while. We have a hive coming online for our Zerg player, so we'll have a fully teched up Tier 3 access Zerg player on the way soon, as he's also getting his Spire right around halfway done at the moment, getting ground level weapons and armor level 2. He has his Zerglings just streaming across the middle of the map. One did get attacked, and it looks like that Infestor got chopped up by a Dark Templar rather. Force Field's going off very nicely right there to block off that choke. Zerglings can't get through. This Dark Templar is going off on Infestors right now, taking out 1 or 2 already, and it will get surrounded by Zerglings. It got up to 5 or 6 kills right there, mostly Infestors, so a very cost-effective Dark Templar right there. As we have more just chilling at the third base for EGiNcontroL, the Zerg army, well actually just the Zerglings, are flooding all around this watchtower. Spoiler alert, you only need 1 Zergling to take control of a watchtower. You don't actually need 3 tabs of them. But hey, whatever ruxin wants to do. Meanwhile, we see Psystorm being researched by our Protoss player at this Templar archive, so he will have both Dark and High Templars as soon as he wants them to be online. We have gateways going up right here at the third base for our Protoss player. Still a mainly Stalker heavy army. They do also have access to Blink, so primarily Blink Stalker play backed up with High and Dark Templars for our Protoss player right now. Meanwhile, ruxin is getting a 4th hatchery down here at the bottom left player's spawn. That is right around a third of the way done at the moment. His Greater Spire is also approaching halfway done. Let's see if I can find this Greater Spire. Just kind of looking around the map for show me a Greater Spire. I promise I know where it is. There we go. The Spire is morphing into a Greater Spire. So he will have Broodlords, folks. Broodlords always very effective unless they get blinked under. So we'll see how that kind of back and forth plays out once the engagement happens. There really hasn't been a major engagement quite yet. Both players losing right around 1k resources up till now. But you can feel it in the air, folks. There's going to be a really, really bloody battle happening so very soon, as Changelings picking a terrible time to find the Protoss army. I'm pretty sure that EGiNcontroL was actually looking at that portion of the map at that moment. So he's going to be seeing Changelings try to pretend that they're Zealots. Also, there really aren't many Zealots in this army in the first place, so EGiNcontroL totally knew those were Changelings and destroyed them pronto. We have Adrenal Glands going up for our Zerg players, so Cracklings going to be up. You almost don't see that very often now of actually getting that second upgrades for Zergs, but look at this many Zerglings, 5 tabs of them. Oh my goodness, that is, if I can do the math correctly, 24 times 5, something like 120 Zerglings for our Zerg player. So he is really, really happy about having Zerglings on the ground and also getting a couple of Broodlords morphing in the air. So both of these armies are going to be very fearsome in the near future. The Protoss army only has 2 weapons upgrade on the ground, while the Zergs have a 2 and 2 ground and armor weapons levels upgrades. That sentence failed, but I'm sure you caught the gist of it. Our Zerg player also has 8 Infestors ready to right around full energy, so they'll be ready to use everything they want to. Noah Parasites also researched for them as well. We have Thermal Lance and Weapons level 3 on the ground being researched for our Protoss player, and a pair of Colossi being produced as well. So the Protoss player is pulling out all the stops. We've seen Dark Templars, High Templars, and now Colossi as well. The only thing missing is the air fleet, but maybe if we cross our fingers, we'll see a mothership. I'm guessing probably not. EGiNcontroL isn't exactly known for his mothership use, but a man can only hope to see mothership play, because that is always so very sexy. We have a 4th base up as well for EGiNcontroL, just now getting that starting to be populated probes coming to join this one probe, telling its friends back home that it's a really scenic place and they should definitely come mine there. The conditions are a little bit better. The air is just so much nicer. Meanwhile, the Protoss army is looking a little more balanced now. That is a bunch of Stalkers. That's right around 20, I believe. And then just a couple of Sentries and a couple of Zealots to finish it all off. And now this pair of Colossi is joined by, it looks like 5 High Templars. So this is a very diverse army right now. There's also a couple of High Templars just sitting here at this base. There are still Dark Templars chilling at the other expansions just to be able to watch for when those indeed get taken, if they do get taken. These 5 High Templars are a little out of position. They could get sniped so easily, but fortunately for our Protoss player, the Zerg army is still chilling all the way over here. It's still 5 tabs of Zerglings. Can't believe that. And whoa, an entire battalion of Broodlords in the air. That's 10 Broodlords along with 8 Infestors. So Zergling, Infestor, Broodlord for our Zerg player. That's actually a really fearsome army. We'll see how the Protest player is able to deal with this, as that is really, really good, especially getting those upgrades as well. Actually catching this Observer and getting it with Fungal Growth. Nice play right there. Didn't manage to kill it though. I'm not sure if he'll... There it goes. He's going to be setting that Infested Terran and will take it out. And now is there going to be an engagement happening in the middle? Oh, those units dying in a glory bloodbath. And these Broodlings are going to be taking out a pylon. Broodlings are going off right now. The Protest player has some work to do trying to defend his base. He is spread out right now as the Zerg player is all over the place taking out things with Broodlings. Infestors in the back going to be joining this party. And now we see this massive engagement happening in the middle. My computer is crying itself to sleep right now. We have fungal growth going on everything. These Colossi fully attack, upgraded, trying to do as much as they can, but Infestors are going to be neuroparasiting, and now we have Psystorms going off on the Zerglings, but also getting the Colossus in the process. Psystorms going off on these Stalkers. Mind Control High Templar, love to see that. Oh my goodness, I've actually never seen that ever. We have Neural Parasite going off on the High Templars, forcing it to Psystorm its teammates, and now there's just one lone Colossus will get taken out by Broodlings, and these Stalkers trying to do as much as possible, but they'll get chased away by Broodlings as well. The Zerg player just overwhelmed the Protoss opponent right now. He also has ground weapons and melee attack level 3 on the way. Upgrades galore right now for our Zerg player. EGiNcontroL is taking a 5th base down here during all of this because he is going to be losing this base, it looks like, trying to muster up some sort of defense, able to get some of those probes out. How many did he lose right there? Not very many, so he was able to get most of his probes out. Let's take a look at that APM stab. They are both above 100, while our Zerg player is really, really high at 161. Not losing very many Broodlords at all. I think only half of them lost their lives right there. Doing a ton of damage were those Broodlords. So much fun right there. The Infestors doing so much, neuroparasiting a High Templar and making it storm its teammates. We have more Broodlords warping in, and by more I actually mean 7, so that is ridiculous right now for our Zerg player. We have EGiNcontroL heavily hurting right here in the units lost tab, losing over 4k more resources than his Zerg opponent at the moment. So EGiNcontroL is definitely behind right now, trying to figure out what he can do to find some way to defend. He does have 3 attack upgrade for his ground forces, and also that 1 armor is up right now as well. But the Zerg player is really, really high, also having 1 attack upgrade for the air, while having 2-2 for the ground. Broodlings being so pesty, always taking up Colossus fire. That basically neutralizes the Colossus as they are trying to attack Broodlings at their feet rather than the army as a whole. And now we have the engagement happening in the middle. So many Broodlords in the air, just raining down Broodlings onto the ground. Archons trying to do as much as they can. Zealots trying to tank the damage, but they are just so distracted right now as Zealots can't do anything against Broodlords because, of course, infinite spawning Broodlings are going to eventually whittle those Zealots down. Those Stalkers trying to contribute but really didn't do very much at all. And now the Zealots are forced to turn tail and run because, once again, they really can't do anything against this composition as they can't actually do damage to Broodlords. And Dark Templars now just deciding, whatever man, screw defense, we're going to attack. But it does look like EGiNcontroL is in some serious trouble as now we have 7 Ultras on the way for our Zerg player Ruxin. So Ruxin is doing so very well this game as he's actually going to probably be able to hold this attack off as well. Meanwhile, this fleet of 9 Broodlords are just raining down destruction on this 3rd base of EGiNcontroL. He's going to be losing that entirely right now. There's really nothing left to defend that. Over here, the Protoss army, or what remains of it, will manage to take out this hatchery, so not bad right there. But over here, a much superior Protoss, or Zerg army rather, that is just still those Broodlords in the air, going to be having free reign to do whatever they want. These Protoss units are going to meet their makers at the hands of these really angry and really hungry Ultralisks. And EGiNcontroL is forced to GG out of this, so very well played by our Zerg player Ruxin. He managed to just outplay EGiNcontroL in this game and take it pretty handily, losing almost 10k more resources did EGiNcontroL than his Zerg opponent. So very nicely done by Ruxin. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys next time.